Super beautiful morning. I got up early and went with Larry on an errand to get he wanted some fertilizer for our pasture. Anyway, our pasture is looking really good, but it's supposed to snow and rain, so he needed that on it before the snow and rain comes, because it'll work itself into the soil and do what it's supposed to do. So you can see, though, it's an absolutely beautiful morning, and I'm going to be finishing my walk. I just did all the way up to our mailboxes, and I'm going to make my way down back to the house and just look at a few things along the way for as long as I have a little bit of video left. So on my morning muse this morning, I'm just thinking about something that I learned from Alex Hormozy and also from Megan and a number of people who talk about doing block scheduling in your day. And I really believe in block scheduling. I think it's a really good concept and really helpful for trying to get things done, because the more interruptions you have when you're trying to do something, the more difficult it can be to actually accomplish anything. I'm a little bit short of breath right now. I'm going uphill. You probably can't tell that, but I am going uphill, and I didn't have my weight vest with me this morning when I started my walk, since I was starting it from a different location. But I had my backpack, which has my computer and a few things in it, and it might as well be my weighted vest, because I am short of breath and it is putting a little bit of extra stress on my body to do this walk this morning, which is not a bad thing. As you can tell, I'm still able to talk, but just a little short of breath. So also what's happening this morning is, after almost a week of being back from my month in the Dominican Republic, I'm a little bit out of condition because of not having that much in the way of a workout or conditioning during that time. So anyway, it's really beautiful here. I'm going to go to the end of the road, and then I'm going to go off the road here, because Larry has made a nice little seat out here that overlooks the whole Helena Valley, or maybe most of it anyway. And it's just such a great view, such a great place to just muse. And that's what these morning muses are going to be. I'm going to just be talking about whatever's on my mind that day. It might have something to do with health and wellness, mainly because that's what I eat, drink, and sleep. So that's what I'm passionate about. But I was also thinking about it. You know, we're working on our membership, and we want to do it in a way that we want to form our membership in a way that we can really show people how passionate we are. I want to show you some flowers here. These are just beautiful. These are like the first flowers that come out in the mountains here. They're phlox. They're tiny, tiny little flowers, and they do have a fragrance. It's really amazing how a tiny flower can have such a great fragrance, but they do. They come in white and all shades of pink and purple. These are just white right here, but we'll see some others that are pink and purple, and I'll see if I can, I don't know if I can smell one of these. Hate to pick it, but I can't get down that far. Okay. No, the white ones don't have as much smell, but the pink and purple ones do. So let's just come out here. So this is the bench that Larry made. So back to what I was saying is that we're going to be doing our membership in a way that you can really get a sense of what we're passionate about, but also what we are compassionate about. And I think, you know, that's going to be the key for us, is that one of the reasons we love what we're doing is because it is a way in which we connect to people everywhere with compassion, with a sense of individuality for who they are and what their struggles are. And that's really super important for us. So there's a few cars coming up the road, up this hill, but you can see way out into the valley here. The town of Helena is off in the distance. The town of East Helena is forward here. There's Helena off to the distance. In fact, this in the center of the screen is Mount Helena, which is right on the edge of town there. So yeah, kind of, let's see if I can pan out a little here. I'm going to be practicing these next few weeks with a new camera that I can kind of wear as I'm going along, and because so many things I miss in each day that I want to say or talk about, or things that are just what I call a wow moment. Larry and I are always looking for wow moments. Those are moments that kind of stop you in your tracks and there's nothing to do but just enjoy it. So that's what we're calling our wow moments. And it's very similar to what Eckhart Tolle talks about experiencing the now, and about connecting all those moments throughout the day. When you first start, you might only find one or two in a day, but then as you go along, you start to see them everywhere, and you start to just stop in your tracks and soak in the pleasure of that moment. So that's what we're calling wow moments. Nice. Okay, so I'm gonna leave our little bench here. Larry did such a great job with that. He just put a couple of stumps. I have my shadow in it. Let's go this way. A couple of stumps and a board across. He says he has another one for us. Maybe I'll find it today. We'll see. On a different section of this walk. This is not a long walk. It's probably good that I wear my weight with it, my weighted vest, which today is my backpack, because it actually adds a little bit more aerobic workout to it. And it fits in easily in my day because the walk is a very common part of my week every day, to just get out here if possible and take a walk. And I noticed I've been very tired lately after my walks because I took a lot of time off, 4 weeks anyway, and didn't walk in this strenuous way like this. I didn't walk, actually. I wasn't walking much at all. I was visiting and enjoying my time, but I really need to get back to something that's going to give me a little bit of stamina so I can function better in this body on a day-to-day basis. And let me see, I seem to be, let me see if I'm gonna zoom out a little. You can see my shadow there. Again, I take one more look across there at the Helena Valley. Oh, it says low power mode. So it's gonna cut out pretty soon here. And that'll probably be the end of the Muse for today, but that's okay. I'm gonna be back each morning with a little bit of whatever's going on with my passion and our compassion that morning. This is really nice. So I've been able to hear a lot of birds. I don't think you can hear them in the background. I'll be quiet a second so you can maybe listen. After this truck passes. There are meadowlarks right there, bluebirds. That's a meadowlark again. Very good stabilization this way. I don't know if I try this with my gimbal. I don't even know if my gimbal would have enough power to last for this full walk. As I said, it's not a long walk. I think it averages out to almost 2 miles, but not really even 2 miles. It's pretty hilly because all of Montana is hilly. When you're walking somewhere, you're usually either walking up or down. And I love that actually, because hills are such a great way to do kind of interval training when you're running or walking. Because what happens is when you're going downhill, it's easier and it's kind of a rest time. And when you're going uphill, it's kind of that part of the interval where you're putting out some high intensity energy. So hills are such a great way to do a kind of interval workout. And when I used to train for marathons, I used the hills in that way quite a lot. So the uphill would be the challenge, and then the downhill would be the little bit of a rest without actually stopping and letting your heart rate come back to normal. You would still keep your heart rate up on the downhill to some degree, but just a little bit of a rest or a break. And the other part of the interval that would be resting would even just be the flat, because it wasn't that high intensity output that you get when you're going uphill. So even flats would be a bit of a rest or relief from the high intensity part of the walking or the running. Excuse me. Anyway, not give you quite so much motion here. So I'm looking to start with a different camera setup because it's so hard to capture the things throughout my day that I am passionate about, that I really want you to know about on a moment-to-moment basis. And not that you have to know all the moments of my day, but when I see something that's significant for what I think would help you to function better, and for your body to function better, and for your mind to function better, and then it comes and goes so fast, I don't have a way to capture it to let you know. It's just been very frustrating for that to happen so quickly throughout my day and not have any way to hold on to it and be able to convey that. So I do think I've finally decided, after doing this for several years, that I'm going to break down and get a camera that I can wear. I can wear it on my walks. I can wear it when I'm moving around my house, working around my house. Oh, I can wear it when I'm, of course, cooking or cleaning or something like that, but just when I'm functioning throughout my day, so you can see how these things pop up in my mind as ways to help you function in a more I was going to say more healthy way, but just an easier way. An easier way that helps you feel good throughout your day. So it doesn't have to be anything fancy. And I think a lot of times we think, oh, I've got to have a new piece of equipment or new workout. And I don't think that's necessary. But I do understand that. I mean, I'm saying you don't always need a new piece of equipment. And then I'm going to purchase a new type of camera here. But I do think I've kind of put this off for several years, and I think it might be something that really improves the quality of some of the information that we put out there for you. It improves the quality of the videos, which, as you know, I'm not a videographer, photographer, nothing like that. And it's something that I've had to learn that's so different from what I do as a physician or a health and wellness coach. Photography is not my, that's just not my strong suit. So, oh my word. I don't know if you can see this, but it is a gorgeous bluebird. The bluebirds in Montana are the most intense blue color in the spring. So this is the male. We're seeing it from the front. It's bluer from the back if he turns around. And then his potential mate, the female, is right here. She's a lighter color of blue, so she's not quite so showy, but definitely has a little bit of springtime blue on her. And they generally will be with each other, and you'll see them flying together in the mornings. And we have certain kind of bluebird houses that we put out for them. Oh, I see two kitties that are coming from my neighbor's yard to investigate. Let's see if I can get them in here. There's one. They're getting bigger. And I don't see the other one. This one's gonna kind of say hi to me, and then I don't have anything interesting for her right now. Okay, let's continue. I didn't see her. Oh yeah, her friend is back there, going away from us though. Not coming this way. Behind that little tuft of. I don't see her. Anyway, not coming over here. Let's continue. Try to not make you seasick here. I can hear Larry on the tractor out in front of me somewhere. Oh, it's such a cacophony, a symphony of birds this morning. It's a little bit cool, but not cold. This is has been a very mild winter in Montana for us, and it's getting to be green in April, which never happens. We usually have quite a bit of snow and ice in April, and we are supposed to get some snow and at least a heavy rain tomorrow. But for right now, all it's doing is raining, and then in between the rain we have warmer days, so everything is turning green quite early in April here. Yep, it's amazing. So yes, this is my morning walk, and sometimes I'll be doing the morning muse while I walk. Sometimes I'll be doing the morning muse when I'm drinking my coffee in the house. Oh, might be, oh, it could be anywhere in the house. We'll see what happens with that. We'll be talking about just the simple things that comprise a day of paying attention to yourself, paying attention to what needs to happen through you rather than what you should do or what you want to push yourself to do. That's a whole different idea from allowing what you're passionate about to happen through you. So very different ideas. I'm going to go over to the side of the road here because we've been seeing what we call bitterroot. Bitterroot is the state flower of Montana, and it starts out with what looks like a succulent type of plant. Let's see if I can find one here. Ah, yes, I see a bunch. I'll show you these now because later these are going to change. They are going to metamorphose into something totally different. But for right now, well, let me see if I can get, there's so much sunshine, it's making it kind of harsh light. It's a whole little grove of these little succulent looking plants. They're kind of roundish with thick leaves, thick roundish leaves. There's another one there. They're usually located in a patch of prickly pear, which is also true here. And we're at the base of a rough looking bark on this tree that we call a ponderosa pine. They also grow in very rough conditions, rough, dry conditions in the mountains in which the temperatures get very high in the summer and very low in the winter. So that's a ponderosa pine, and you can always identify it by the very rough, beautiful, actually, bark. So there we have it. At the base of these trees, you'll see some very distinctive things. In this case, we're seeing the prickly pear that grow here alongside it and the bitterroot. And you know, usually this is a very unusual patch of bitterroot. Usually you see singular ones like this one or that little one. There's one by itself. There's a big one back there. Yeah, big one right there. So yeah, there's some other things that grow at the base of ponderosa pines. Ponderosa pines in Montana anyway, we see very acidic soil. So some very resilient types of plants have to be able to tolerate that acidity. And those that I just showed you are, you know, the prickly pear and the, prickly pear and the bitterroot are two examples of that, but there's some other examples here. There's some wild roses that grow at the base of these pines, and there's what we call a currant bush that also thrives at the base of the pines. And you'll see them, it's almost like they're paired off together. We had a place in our yard in which nothing would grow. Everything we planted there died until we planted a little currant bush there. And this year, that currant bush looks like it is in heaven. It is just in its element, just thriving at the base of the ponderosa pine where nothing else would grow. And that's what this is also in front of me. This is a currant bush. And I don't know if I can show you the leaves are kind of, they're very distinctive actually. They're very distinctive kind of almost cloverleaf type leaves. There you can see it. Very pretty actually. So it must love the acidic soil because it grows at the base of the ponderosa pines. Just like I was mentioning that the bitterroot and the prickly pear grow there also. I don't see a rose bush here, but sometimes you'll see them as a triple, like a ponderosa pine, a currant bush, and a rose bush. And the wild roses are absolutely fragrant. They have as much fragrance as they have fewer leaves, fewer petals on the flower. So the roses have maybe 5 petals or 6 petals, 7 petals maybe, but the fragrance from the rose is just very thick and rich rose fragrance. It's wonderful. Wild roses. So we'll see some of those later. It's too early for those right now, but yep, maybe on another morning Muse. This is probably longer than I'll have most of them because I probably won't be showing you all these things on a walk so much. You might get bored from that. But these are, we had a really bad windstorm and it took some trees down completely, but this one, it just broke off. And there's the limbs that are all chopped up now. Here's another tree that it took out completely, and the root system. So we had one day, we lost probably 4 huge trees from this particular windstorm, which is hard because I really love the ponderosa pines. I think they're just such a great, beautiful tree. There's one right there. Let's see if I can bring it in a little closer for you to see. Yep, right there. Here's one right in front of me. You can't even see it because it's so huge. Whoa, that's a ponderosa. Here, all the way to there. Beautiful ponderosa. That's a wow moment. Okay, up the driveway.